US Biden declares emergency for California due to winter storms. Brasil Bolsonaro backers ransack presidential palace. China carries out combat drills around Taiwan again. France's Macron opens up about love to autistic interviewers. BMW shows off its color-changing sedan. Top spy Ana Montes Freed in US. M3gan Dolls Up with $30.2 million while Avatar stays number 1. Video game predictions for 2023.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It's Tuesday, January 10th, and here are your top stories. An atmospheric river and a bomb cyclone have caused devastating flooding and record snowfall over the past week in California. Tens of millions of Californians faced another bout of heavy downpours, high winds, and flooding on Monday after relentless weather killed 12 people and left tens of thousands without power. U.S. President Joe Biden approved the emergency declaration for California, authorizing the Federal Emergency Management Agency to coordinate disaster relief efforts and mobilize emergency resources.
California getting hit hard again with another atmospheric river dumping rain across the state.
Extreme weather has also toppled trees and power lines, knocking out power for tens of thousands of Californians. As of Monday morning, some 120,000 homes and businesses were without electricity, according to data from poweroutage.us. The U.S. National Weather Service said most of California's 39 million residents could expect heavy rainfall of up to 130 millimeters near the coast, more than a foot of snow to the west, and wind gusts reaching 65 miles an hour across the state over the next few days.
Supporters of Brazil's far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro invaded and defaced the country's Congress, presidential palace, and Supreme Court on Sunday in an echo of the U.S. Capitol invasion 2 years ago by supporters of former President Donald Trump. There were no immediate reports of deaths or injuries from their rampage, but the invaders threw furniture through the smashed window of the presidential palace, flooding parts of Congress with a sprinkler system and ransacking ceremonial rooms in the Supreme Court.
Hundreds of supporters of the ousted former president Jair Bolsonaro have stormed the National Congress.
The uprising, which lasted a little over 3 hours, underlined the severe polarization that still grips the country days after the inauguration of leftist President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, who defeated Bolsonaro in the October election. In a press conference during an official trip to Sao Paulo, Lula said these vandals, who we could call fanatical fascists, did what has never been done in the history of this country. All these people who did this will be found and they will be punished.
China's military said it had carried out combat drills around Taiwan on Sunday, the second such exercises in less than a month, with Taiwan's defense ministry reporting it detected 57 Chinese aircraft. The People's Liberation Army's Eastern Theater Command said in a statement late on Sunday that its forces had organized joint combat readiness patrols and actual combat drills in the sea and airspace around Taiwan, focused on land strikes and sea assaults.
Taiwan Strait. China's military has said that it has carried out combat drills around Taiwan.
The Chinese military said the aim of the exercises was to test joint combat capabilities and resolutely counter the provocative actions of external forces and Taiwan's independent separatist forces. Taiwan's defense ministry said on Monday that over the previous 24 hours, it has detected 57 Chinese aircrafts and 4 naval vessels operating around the island. China carried out similar exercises late last month, with Taiwan reporting that 43 Chinese aircrafts crossed the Taiwan Straits median line.
A group of interviewers on the autism spectrum got France's 45-year-old president to talk about himself with unusual and illuminating candor in a televised interview last weekend, with frank but fair no-filter questions that professional journalists mostly don't dare ask of the French leader. The question for France's president about his teenage romance with a teacher at his high school was so close to the moon, so eye-popping in a country where politicians largely keep their private lives to themselves.
As the 39-year-old moves closer to the presidency, one little fun fact about him is making the news cycle.
Macron responded gamefully, even to the probing about his romance with Brigitte, 24 years his senior. She was Brigitte Ozier, a married mother of 3 children when they met at a high school where he was a student and she was a teacher. She later moved to Paris to join Macron and divorced. They married in 2007. Macron said, "When you're in love, the choice isn't yours." He additionally ventured, "She wasn't really my teacher. She was my drama teacher. It's not quite the same."
I always needed time on my own. I never thought it was true.
I take your blessings with your heartaches too. It's so easy and so wonderful to know it's you.
学习，一切从今天开始。FUNDAY 英语。
BMW has unveiled an updated version of its color-changing car technology at the Consumer Electronics Show 2023 in Las Vegas. BMW I Vision D is a mid-size sedan. The name D stands for Digital Emotional Experience. The I Vision D boasts up to 32 colors developed with technology company E Ink. The exterior of the car is divided up into 240 segments that can be individually controlled. The concept for the I Vision D also incorporates other features that are meant to blend the digital and physical worlds.
One of the features is called the mixed reality slider on the dashboard that introduces immersive digital elements to the interior as you move your finger further along on it. That includes augmented reality projections that could, for example, highlight a cyclist or pedestrian crossing on the road ahead. To complete the personalized experience, the concept car offers voice interaction, speaking to the user in a natural language. It also produces facial expressions such as winking with its digitally enhanced headlights and grille.
Ana Montes, among the best-known Cold War spies caught by the U.S., has been released from prison after more than 20 years in custody. The 65-year-old spent almost 2 decades spying for Cuba while employed as an analyst at the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency. After her arrest in 2001, U.S. officials said she had almost entirely exposed U.S. intelligence operations on the island. One official said she was among the most damaging spies caught by the U.S.
After her arrest, Montez was accused of supplying the identities of 4 U.S. spies and oceans of classified material to the Cuban intelligence agency. She was handed a 25-year prison sentence, with a sentencing judge accusing her of putting the nation as a whole at risk. Montez will remain under supervision for 5 years after her release and will have her internet usage monitored. She will also be banned from working for the U.S. government or contacting foreign agents without permission.
According to studio estimates, the Blumhouse evil doll horror film M3gan got up to a killer start, debuting with $30.2 million in ticket sales, while Avatar: The Weight of Water continued its box office reign in the top spot. The PG-13 film reviews 94% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes were stronger for the modern, tacky twist on a child's play-like thriller. It added $10 million internationally. Sony Pictures' A Man Called Otto, starring Tom Hanks, managed a solid $4.2 million and ranked third in box office last Friday.
Megan, she pushed Brandon onto the road. I won't let anything harm you.
Universal Pictures' M3gan, about a robot companion built for a young girl after her parents are killed in a car accident, rode strong buzz and viral dancing meme to an above expectations debut. In the low-budget slasher starring Allison Williams, Blumhouse and producer James Wan crafted Hollywood's first hit of the new year, likely spawning a new high-concept horror franchise. Comparatively, Tom Hanks' A Man Called Otto is a remake of the Swedish film A Man Called Ove.
According to estimates from gaming analytics firm Newzoo, after 2 years of COVID-boosted growth, the games market declined 4.3% in 2022 to $184.4 billion. One reason is that a lot of highly anticipated titles scheduled for release were delayed. Bloomberg reported now 2023 is the year that Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Electronic Arts' Dead Space, Square Enix Holdings' Final Fantasy XVI, Activision Blizzard's Diablo IV, and others are due out this year.
The media said the lineups of fresh releases will likely contribute to growth in consumer spendings on games this year. While most gamers continue to favor hits that have been around for years, Newzoo says the games that have the most players last year are so-called live service games, which are constantly updated and designed to keep players hooked and spending money on upgrades and perks. The company believes the boons for the likes of EA and Activision this year will likely result from a combination of new games and continued love for old favorites.
FUNDAY News will help you sharpen your English skills and keep you informed about international current events. If you want to know more about our other programs and keep learning about the world's most important topics in English, please click the link in the description below to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I'll see you next time.